Pred časom je v Ljubljani na pobudo Mirovnega inštituta potekala konferenca na temo Težave in vizije v socialni oskrbi, kjer smo se s profesorico Stockholmske univerze pogovarjali o idealih in stvarnosti oskrbe starejših ljudi na Švedskem. Kljub primerjalno gledano še vedno kakovostni oskrbi jo skrbi trend. Število starejših nastanjenih v domovih je po letu 2000 začelo drastično upadati. Poleg tega danes 20% postelj nudijo zasebna podjetja.
5 largest corporations, all owned by international capital, they run 3/4 of the private nursing home beds, and 20% of the Swedish nursing homes are private providers. They are still publicly funded, but they are owned and run by, or at least run by private providers.
Attendo kot največja korporacija ima v lasti 1/4 vseh postelj med zasebniki na Švedskem. Sicer pa v skandinavskih državah 510 enot in več kot 24,000 oskrbovancev.
And that particular company is also very big in home care. It's active in all the Nordic countries. It also provides disability services and also services for recently arrived migrant asylum seekers, underage minors, children, young people. So they are everywhere where there is a growing need for services, and they make good money.
V čigavi lasti pa so ta podjetja?
They started as Swedish companies, but they were quickly bought up by larger international firms. To start with, in 2005, increasingly by private equity companies that actually are investing in various areas, and later on they are listed on the stock market, some of them. These companies, they usually have their headquarters in tax havens, so they pay very little tax in Sweden, which has been heavily criticized and tried to be regulated. In practice, it's very difficult to regulate.
In kako je lahko posel s starejšimi in drugimi ranljivimi skupinami dobičkonosen?
They make their profit in Sweden as they do in other countries by reducing the cost. Because this is publicly funded, so they will get the same funding, but they can reduce the cost in 3 ways. They can reduce the staffing, and the for-profit companies have 10% lower staffing ratio than compared to the public. They have also less formally trained workers, and they also employ workers by the hour. If you employ workers by the hour and not at full time, you can put workers there the hours of the day when you really need them the most. Bringing up people from bed in the morning, putting them to bed in the evening, that's where you have the higher staffing, and then in the middle of the day you have fewer staff, but then that's the time of the day when you are supposed to live and not only survive.
V zasebnemu sektorju so se vrata v to dejavnost odprla v 90-ih letih, v času recesije.
And the promise from mainstream economists was that if you introduce competition, so you open up the publicly funded services to private providers to compete, you will have better quality and reduced costs. And also the idea that non-profit organizations, cooperatives, and also small companies will enter the market and stimulate the public sector. And they didn't talk about private at the time, they talked about alternative. And no one expected what actually happened, that large for-profit corporations entered the market in large scale.
Po letu 2000 se je število postelj zmanjšalo za 1/4, saj so občine začele zviševati prag upravičenosti do domske oskrbe. Kar ima posledice, ali če se izrazimo politično korektno, kolateralno škodo.
Working daughters is a concept, but the idea is that if you have well-functioning elder care services, you can actually be a working daughter, despite your mother or father need help in your daily life.
Na Zahodu torej nič novega.